your honest take on pollution crisis?
This time it is almost equal to public health emergency. So even without smoking they are like कि हमने तो कभी सिगरेट आज तक पी नहीं, उसके बावजूद भी हमें COPD है, अस्थमा है, इनहेलर्स लेने पड़ रहे हैं.
What are the symptoms you suggest, like people should never ignore, right? Otherwise they can develop into serious issues.
So these are the 5 major symptoms related to the lungs.
Okay. It is said that if you are living in Delhi NCR, you are smoking 51 cigarette daily.
In the past few months I have seen patients who are just 5 to 6 year old child, and they are coming with very severe pneumonia. For viral pneumonia we actually have nothing.
For the intention of taking care of their physical well-being, actually it's working against them.
In this high AQI and polluted areas, if you are running, you are doing a gymming in an open space, definitely it is going to harm your lungs.
Hi everyone, my name is Nitin Guru and I am your host at Medical Value Talks. And today we are going to talk about very interesting topic. If you are living and breathing in different Indian metros, I think this is the most important discussion you should definitely attend. And we have a pleasure to host Dr. Priya Sharma, who is intervention pulmonologist at Indraprastha Apollo Hospital. And today we are having pleasure to host her here. Dr. Sharma, welcome to Medical Value Talks.
Thank you, Nitinji. Thank you so much. I'm also highly obliged to be here. And I think at the end of this, I hope I burst some myths, the myths which are very prevalent at this time in this pollution era.
Absolutely, ma'am. And this is a topic which was I was looking forward to host as soon as possible, and thankfully we got you here, so we are sure that our audience will benefit a lot from the discussion we are going to have. But before we delve into the discussion topic, I want to understand what led you to the pulmonology specialty. How has been your journey to this stage where you are at? And more I see that this particular specialty is becoming really critical due to our changing scenarios. So what led you here?
So let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
So starting from my family actually. So when I was very small, maybe in some 4th or 5th class, my parents wanted me to become a doctor. So that time I didn't knew this thing, what pulmonology or lung actually means.
Right.
But then I was decided that I want to become a doctor. Then in class 10th, they asked me again, are you sure you want to become a doctor? I was like, yes, for sure I want to become a doctor. Then after completing my MBBS, I went to DNB counseling, and I think it was the one decision which led me to become a pulmonologist. I was sitting in this counseling room of the DNB alone to take the first decision of my life, where my parents, no one is from the medical background, and I was alone in that room and I have to take a decision, which field do you want to choose? So that time, this was my choice, that I don't want to go to the surgical part. I want to be in the clinician part. I want to treat the patient. I want to look for the OPD. I want to do interventions and all to some aspect. And that time, I think 2016, it was kind of an end branch. So after doing DNB pulmonary medicine, you actually don't have to do any further studies. So I took the pulmonary medicine there. 1 month of my pulmonary medicine DNB, and then one of my senior asked, why did you take pulmonary medicine? I find very few girls here. Why did you take this branch? You could have taken ops gynae. I was like, sir, I am okay. I'm happy with this branch. I'm finding it good. But then gradually, when I see the patient who come to me and telling me, ma'am, I'm feeling much better in breathing now. I was too breathless. I'm so happy. Then few other cases when I see people, air hunger. I've seen patients who are literally, they are on 15 liters of oxygen 24 hours a day, carrying a cylinder or a portable oxygen concentrator along with them. I mean, I really wish if I could do anything for them. More diagnostics, more treatment have come up now, but then still I think more can be done in this branch.
Right.
So I'm still enjoying it. I'm still doing my best in this branch. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah. And I understand that you treat a wide range of respiratory disease,
Definitely.
asthma, COPD.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So initially, the pulmonary medicine or the respiratory medicine branch was used to known as TB and chest.
Hmm.
So
Right.
it was just more of TB rather than anything else.
Yeah.
But then gradually it has come up to pulmonary medicine.
Hmm.
Then it has started including the respiratory critical care
Hmm.
part.
Hmm.
So some of ICU patients also we are seeing now.
Hmm.
And then a major branch is sleep medicine
Hmm.
that have also come up along with our arena.
Right.
And then allergy, of course,
Hmm.
allergy
Hmm.
and asthmas,
Yeah.
they are also now a part.
Right.
So there is a big variety of diseases that we are treating right now,
Right.
including COPD,
Hmm.
asthma, tuberculosis, coming to the diagnosis of lung cancer.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then, of course, the various intervention, the newer diagnostics which have come up,
Right.
sleep medicine,
Right.
treating OSA patients, obstructive sleep apnea patient, everything has come up into the field.
Right. And because of the current environmental issues, changing scenarios, what are those kind of top three diseases which you are seeing that they are kind of rising in pulmonary area?
So let me tell you daily clinical my OPD practice thing. So
Mm-hmm.
what I see, there are more of patients who are coming up with asthma and COPD like symptoms.
Hmm. Hmm.
Either they were having asthma or COPD, but this pollution has triggered up their
Oh.
symptoms and they are being diagnosed now.
Okay.
So most of these COPD patient maybe they are non-smokers even. So even without smoking they are like कि हमने तो कभी सिगरेट आज तक पी नहीं उसके
Huh.
बावजूद भी हमें COPD है अस्थमा है inhalers लेने पड़ रहे हैं. But then of course this is the pollution. The next best factor which can explain this is pollution.
Sorry. COPD. What that
So
mean?
COPD basically stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
All right. Yeah.
So it is one of the condition in which your airways obstruct or they constrict basically, and this is kind of irreversible thing.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
if there is a continuous exposure and you are not taking your inhalers regularly, then it is a kind of a irreversible thing.
Right. What I've observed, in fact, seen that these symptoms, when like breathlessness happens, people often ignore these symptoms, right? What are the symptoms you suggest like people should not never ignore, right? Otherwise, they can develop into serious issues.
So I think what we say from our initial MBBS practice in the chest, there are 5 symptoms. So coughing was the first,
Yeah.
followed by sputum or
The
phlegm
sputum.
or expectoration, what people say. So
Okay.
third is chest pain,
Chest pain,
fourth is breathlessness,
breathlessness.
and fifth is coughing out blood, what we call in medical language as hemopsis.
Okay. But chest pain can also,
Yeah. So
related
that
to, yeah.
then we have to decide whether this chest pain is caused by cardiac part or by lung part.
Okay.
So it's not always heart which is the main factor.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
could be an acidity pain, it could be an heart pain, but it could be lung
Lung
also.
pain as well.
So
Right.
if you have a pneumonia in any part of the lung, it will cause chest pain in
Right,
that
right.
area.
Absolutely,
If you are
absolutely.
having water in your lung, water filled lung, what we call as pleural effusion, that is, there are 2 layers above the lung. In between that, there is excessive accumulation of fluid. So that also leads to chest pain.
Right.
So there are multiple causes in the chest also which can lead to chest pain. But then we have to evaluate it. So if
Right.
any person who is having these symptoms persistently, please go and see your pulmonologist, I would say.
What happened, I think, during COVID and after COVID, there was a lot of, COVID, strains, and then people just kind of started ignoring all the kind of signs. So, do you think that is a serious trend which people should be now?
So maybe I would say ki, of course, COVID has taught the layman people more related to the lungs, related to their oxygen saturation. People now they know what is azithromycin, what is Monter LC.
Yeah.
They just go to the chemist shop and they just self-medicating, start
Right,
self-medicating
right.
themselves. So that is one of the factor. The other
But
thing,
what is the harm of it?
so definitely, if you are unnecessarily and non-judiciously, if you are using these antibiotics again and again, so there will be resistance to this. Again, these antibiotics have their own side effects. They can affect your liver, they can affect your kidney. So definitely, there is one thing called as we are going towards antimicrobial resistance. So a time might come, whatever the best antibiotics we are having right now, they might show resistance in future and they might not work.
Right.
So that is the one thing.
It is really dangerous,
Definitely,
right?
yes,
Like self-medicating, especially with antibiotics.
definitely.
Right.
So apart from this, then people have started ignoring daily cough, daily breathlessness, unable to exercise to their best maximum. They attribute all these symptoms to like stress.
Right.
We are having a sedentary lifestyle. Itna to ho sakta hai. Then of course the pollution. They blame it to the pollution. But then, if these are persistent, of course, these are the risk factors. But then, if these symptoms are still persistent despite doing everything, then please consult somebody. You really need to consult. This should be one thing that people should know.
But at the same time, of course, pollution and the the environment can be attributed, right? And I'm not sure. Like it is said that if you are living in Delhi NCR, you are smoking 51 cigarette daily, right?
Right.
So do you think that is also primary kind of reason why all that breathlessness etc. is happening?
So this is definitely one of the reason
Hmm.
that this very high AQI and this pollution in the NCR area. I can see. I mean, in the past few months, I have seen patients who are just 5 to 6 year old child,
Yeah.
and they are coming with very severe pneumonia.
Oh.
And this pneumonia was not bacterial; it was viral only. And then for viral pneumonia, we actually have nothing. We have no treatment. It's just all supportive we can give. If the
Oh.
patient comes in the initial phase, we have some antiviral drugs, but that is not a sure shot medicine. That is just a thing which can reduce the severity of that pneumonia. But viral pneumonia going intubation, if you understand, the patient was on ventilator for more than 14 days. I mean, this is definitely the pollution. That
Yeah.
baby is not smoking
Yeah.
anything or smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes, nothing like that.
Right.
So definitely it's the this AQI, this pollution is definitely leading to, and the number of patients who are coming in this period of winter, October to December, they have definitely increased. And if you ask the percentage of steroids and antihistaminics at a pharmacy shop, these are the most commonly used. The percentage of their selling
Oh.
increases during this 2 month phase, October to December. So I think definitely this AQI and pollution has led to increase in the symptoms, increase in the pre-existing diseases, or exacerbation of stable disease. It has definitely led to all
So
this
do you
thing.
think that if people are going for for gym trend, and if they are going out for morning walks for the intention of taking care of their physical well-being, actually it's working against them, it's worsening their well-being because of such kind of risk?
So I think gymming and all, exercise and all, of course, they are for good of yours. But going to a beyond a limit, that is one thing. And definitely in this high AQI and polluted areas, if you are running, you are doing a gymming in an open space, and you are cycling or exercising in this on especially on those days when your AQI is like going up to 1,000, definitely it is going to harm your lungs. It's definitely going to, even if you are not asthmatic, even if you are having no lung disease, it is definitely going to affect your airways as well as the lungs. So I think you can do gymming and all, but then go and check AQI. Everyone is having a phone these days, so you can definitely check the AQI. Nowadays there are closed gym also, but then closed gym, one of the thing which everyone should remember, that if you are having any normal flu infection or anything, please don't go to closed gym, because then you are exposing other person who are coming to that viral
Right.
infection and all.
Right.
So that is a few things. So please don't go out when there is high AQI, and please don't go for gymming when you are having any active infection.
Right, because that can increase the speed of
Definitely.
you breathe, right?
Speed of your breath can increase. You will produce some aerosols in your breath
Right.
that might contain the infection.
Right.
Some other person who
Yeah.
is very good in
Yeah.
health and doing fine, might inhale them, and he might develop the viral infection few days after.
Right. So to probably avoid such kind of a situation, a lot of even good gyms, they are using air purifiers, and but at the same time, I have heard people saying that using air purifier actually reduce your immunity, and you should not use air purifier at home. What is your take on it? When, where to use air for, or not to use air purifiers?
See, air purifier, I mean, if you know what air purifier you have to buy, I mean, what all things you have to look when you are buying an air purifier, and if it is used properly in a closed space, it definitely decreases some particulate matters, what we say as PM 2.5 and PM 10.
Right.
It definitely reduces in your vicinity. But if you ask me whether using an air purifier will completely eliminate your risk of pneumonia or developing a lung cancer, then that is just a myth.
Oh, okay.
So it is helping, it is not substituting. So it is helping to clear the vicinity, the air you are inhaling, it is clearing that air. That is plus point. So definitely they are helping, but then taking them to be granted that I'm using air purifier, I'll not get pneumonia, I'll not get a flu, that is a myth.
Okay.
So I think while buying an air purifier, one should definitely look that it should be using a HEPA filter, high efficiency particulate matter filtering agent. And apart from that, there is a CADR rate is there with every air purifier.
Okay.
That is clean air driving ratio. So the amount of clean air that a air purifier gives you per minute.
Okay.
So higher this CADR is, better is your air purifier.
All right. Okay.
So there are few things that apart from that, then there are few filters that some air purifier are containing, like activated charcoal, carbon filters. They further helps in removing the odors and volatile gases which are there in your vicinity. They'll definitely remove that also. So then you should know all these information, gather all this information, and then decide to take a air purifier.
But you think like it is a good option to have.
Definitely,
Right.
it clears up the air that you are inhaling, and
But at the same time, like people suggest, like you put plants inside plants.
so
Like there is a snake plant, and then there are other, home plants. Does that equate to purifier or?
I mean, there is no head-to-head data regarding that.
Okay.
If we come to the data, there is no head-to-head data. But then, of course, they do help. Their indoor plants, they do help in cleaning the air.
Okay.
There are certain, what would I say? There are certain reports, but not actual data, that if they are equally efficacious, if we are comparing the air purifier with these plants, but both of them have an effect in cleaning up the air in your vicinity.
All right. And on another myth, I probably it's myth or not, you can claim, but I've heard about that if you use inhalers regularly, of course, if you are having certain condition, then only use inhaler. But if you are using inhaler continuously, you develop a dependency on it, and it might, in long run, it is harmful. What do you say about that?
Definitely, there is still a large bunch of patients who have a stigma associated with inhalers.
Yeah.
So I can exactly pick up the line of the patient and tell you, डॉक्टर साहब कोई गोली दे दो, इनहेलर मत लिखो, इनहेलर नहीं लेंगे, गोली ले लेंगे. Then there are patients कि सर इसकी तो लत लग जाएगी.
Yeah.
So definitely patients are still having less awareness that inhalers are actually needed by you. Your lungs need inhalers, and giving you a tablet is not the solution. And inhalers are not that is not an addiction. So if you are a diabetic, you are taking treatment for diabetes.
Right.
Do you become addicted to that treatment of diabetes? It's needed by you, na? So same as here. So if you are having asthma, you are having that COPD, you definitely need inhalers, and they are safer. The drug which is in that inhaler is going directly to your lungs. That is not going in your blood. If you are taking a tablet, most of the part is going into the blood, producing some adverse drug reaction, and a minimal part of it will go to your lung.
Right.
So inhalers have to be used when they are needed. Whatever your pulmonologist or your physician is advising you, take it, be compliant to it. And then one of the thing that most of the patients, I mean, I would say there are a good bunch of patients who are coming back to the OPD and telling, ये inhaler लेने से तो कुछ आराम नहीं पड़ा. But one of the most important reason that they are not taking it correctly. There are few steps in those taking those inhalers. Then you have to learn those steps. If you are not taking it step by step, then
Properly. Yeah.
it is just a waste. You
Right.
will never get benefit from it. So that is the one thing that patient must know.
All right. And especially, you are a pulmonologist who is treating people in Delhi NCR area. Uh, what do you think is about this pollution crisis? What is your honest take on pollution crisis?
This time it is almost equal to public health emergency. I
Yeah.
think government has taken some steps like grab 4, and
Yeah.
then sometimes it is even odd in the car.
Right. 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 Right.
All those steps have been taken, and definitely the number of patients coming to the OPD in this season related to all the lung disorders increases, as we discussed that amount of antibiotics and antihistaminics and steroids which are being taken from the chemist shop, definitely they go on rise during this time.
So, and again, I have heard a very prominent influencer. He says that probably you should go out of Delhi NCR during this time. Do you also kind of sound with
I mean,
this kind of advice, or
I have advised this thing to few
oh,
people.
okay,
So there was a period who have very bad lung condition,
huh,
and they are
okay,
literally air hunger. They are dying of air. They are not able to breathe properly despite doing everything. I think it's better to leave Delhi temporarily till the AQI get control, and they can go to some high hilly and Himalayas.
yeah, because maybe most of India is dealing with a similar kind of
Same
situation
condition,
at this time,
exactly.
right? But this is becoming a big issue. I hope government and the relevant parties take kind of
They are
definite decision towards this, and uh, definitely I see in future I hope we have cleaner cities where people can live peacefully. So,
It is a mixture of efforts. I mean,
yeah,
it's both from the government side also as well as from the layman, the
people
people
side.
also.
Yeah, yeah,
So both the parties have to do their best. It's not
absolutely.
the government alone. It's not the people alone.
All right. So let's come on the part where you are in the control, right? Which you do the regular basis. So you perform various kind of complex surgeries, the operations, bronchoscopy, EBUS, etc. How you communicate these kind of complex, treatment to your patients?
So I think there are many these procedure like bronchoscopy, EBUS, which stands for endobronchial ultrasound. Then we have thoracoscopy. So these are kind of a minimally invasive procedure which have come up in the past decade. And what they help us to go and we can check and evaluate and diagnose whatever problem you have inside your airways. Then what we call as lymph node, there are lymph nodes around your lung in the mediastinum. We can check it through EBUS, and whatever water or anything which we have in the two layers around the lung, what we call as pleura, so anything there we can help it out with thoracoscopy. So of course the percentage of open surgeries, the requirement of open surgeries, they have decreased to much extent after coming up of all these
Very
minimal
nice.
invasive procedure. They are very safe, and they are like 10 to 30 minutes procedure, which can be each 10 to 30-minute procedure can give you a diagnosis,
Very nice.
can help you, can act as a therapeutic thing also. So I mean, yes, it's a good new field which is generating in the pulmonology called as intervention pulmonology. So
Which is great. But at the same time, many times what happened, I have seen patients says that that this test is just written to at a cost for me, right? कि भाई ये तो डॉक्टर साहब ने ऐसे ही लिख दिया है, right?
So-
So how you deal with those kind of-
So there are patients actually, diagnosis, the number of diagnosis for anything, for TB, COPD, lung
Yeah,
cancer.
yeah.
आप ही बताइए मुझे, लंग कैंसर आज से 10 साल पहले कितने लंग कैंसर की परसेंटेज
one
होती
heard
थी
about.
और
Yeah,
अब कितनी होती है?
yeah, yeah.
So it's all because of the newer diagnostic things which have
Right,
come up.
right.
So these are, I think, minimally invasive and safe procedures. We do explain it to the patient कि सिर्फ CT और X-ray देख के कोई diagnosis देना 100% it's not possible,
Right,
right?
right.
So we need some tissue, we need some sample that can give us 100% diagnosis, so that we are confident that whatever we are treating you, we are treating it 100%. So we have to explain. I think good bunch of patients, they agree when we convince them, but some patients do show some resistance
Resistance.
against, definitely.
Diagnosis.
So then we just start a trial of treatments. Let's see what works.
Right, right. And to be very fair, as a patient, you are always afraid of diagnosis. If it comes positive, then what? Right, and that's the psyche, right? There is both
Many
people.
of the time, I think in my profession also, since I've started doing these intervention, many of time the diagnosis that we get from these intervention, the tissue diagnosis, they really, I mean, we have never thought ki this will come, then this is coming. I mean, you can't predict anything.
Absolutely.
Just like tuberculosis, what we say is tuberculosis can present like anything.
Yeah,
So saying any particular feature on your X-ray or CT that this is TB, no. Anything can present like TB. Your X-ray can be absolutely normal. Then
Right.
also you can
Yeah.
have TB.
yeah, yeah.
So you really need to go to the tissue diagnosis at this point of time.
Absolutely.
So you need to be 100% confident whatever you are treating.
Right. And as we are kind of talking about diagnosis, the same thing in women, especially on women, is often ignored. They, even if they are having breathlessness or such kind of pulmo symptoms, they often ignore them as a stress or hormonal, right? What do you suggest for such kind of situation, and especially for the women, when they should not ignore such kind of symptoms? Of course, there are situation might be hormonal as well, which might happen, but then
So I think when should they like start thinking about going to a physician remains same for the male and female.
right,
It does not differ.
yeah,
But then female has to think
Yeah.
that, I mean, she has to prioritize herself. That is the one thing.
absolutely,
Because I think female, they prioritize their family health, their spouse health, everyone, but they start ignoring their health.
right,
ठीक है, it is obesity, it is my stress, it is my daily work, it's okay. I mean, no, it's not okay. If you are having any of the lung symptoms, and especially female who are not nowadays, but then there are females, elderly females, who definitely have an exposure to chulas, which were prevalent in past, and now they are developing lung symptoms. So it's fairly evident that it was chula smoke which led to create these symptoms in you right now. And they are coming to the OPD most of the time when it is
too late.
too late. So that is the one thing that women must be aware of, that they have to prioritize herself sometimes related to all the symptoms she has to see, whether it is sleep related, whether it is airway related, whether it is any symptom. If it is persistent, please go and see a physician or a pulmonologist.
And if someone is recovering from respiratory illness, what are the daily habits or mistakes they might be making which might delay in their recovery?
So take your treatment as advised by the doctor. Some people are like कि अब तो हम ठीक हो गए हैं, छोड़ देते हैं दवाई, अब नहीं लेंगे.
Right.
So there is a course of antibiotic that you have to complete.
Right.
जितने दिन बोला गया है उतने दिन लेना है. So that is one of the thing. Then don't overexert or strain or start working again, going outside, playing, and then walking and gymming, doing all these things in this AQI. No, you have to rest means you have to rest. You have to stay at home.
Right.
You should know that at this time when you are recovering from some lung infection, you are predisposed to again get a relapse, or maybe you can develop some new infection. So you have to give some time to your lung to heal, and
Right.
that time has been defined as per the disease. Your doctor will tell.
And for the viewers who are going through our discussion today, what are the three practical advice for them which so to ensure that their lungs remain healthy even in the polluted areas?
So again, my first advice will be just check your AQI daily
Okay.
when you are stepping out of the house unnecessarily. Going to a job, going for your profession is one thing, which then, but then at the same time, you can wear a mask.
Yeah.
You can avoid crowded areas and polluted areas. That is one of the thing. Then your sleep. Maintain your sleep schedule. That is very important because your sleep plays a very major part in your whole day, every organ, everything. So sleep plays a major role. And of course, then if you are having any infection, any inflammation, any persistent symptom, it's better to consult somebody who is expert in that.
And what your message will be for those people who are facing certain kind of chronic condition, pulmonology related chronic condition, and probably they are delaying their medical, intervention. What message you would
So,
like to give to
what
them?
all chronic lung diseases we are talking here about? One is COPD, one is
Right.
asthma, then one is interstitial lung diseases. So, I mean, people should know that there are now newer diagnostic and newer intervention and newer treatment as well, which can help you make you stabilize in that chronic lung disease. So there are treatment. If you take that treatment, your I'm not sure whether your lung disease will be cured or not because it is
Yeah.
something chronic which is happening. It might get cured, but then depending upon the disease, we can stabilize it.
Right.
Even if we are not able to stabilize it, there are some interventions and something which we can do to act as a bridge therapy till you go for a definite therapy. So it
Right.
act as a bridge therapy that can
Wonderful.
be done. So I think chronic lung disease people should be aware that अब तो ये बीमारी हो गई कुछ हो नहीं सकता वो बहुत पुरानी थिंकिंग
Purani
है.
thinking.
There are multiple advancement in each field, so I think we have to create awareness among the people regarding all this.
Absolutely. And I think you very well summarized it. It's not, awareness probably is not just for the people who are suffering from the disease, but for the common people as well. Because now, of whatever situation, pollution, and all, this is at the probably center stage where we should be aware. And as you, rightly, practically advise that we need to take care of our lung, the whole body
Yes.
through to precautions as well as from balanced sleep. So I think those would be really helpful. So thank you, Dr. Priya Sharma, for coming here and discussing about a really very relevant topic. So thanks again for your inputs.
Thank you, Nitinjan. Thank you so much to have me here. And I hope I am able to burst some myths at the end of this talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think a lot of myths were busted at the same time. People got
Must got aware about
aware
few
about.
few points that was not so much aware they were
Aware.
about it.
Absolutely. So thanks again, and it was pleasure to host you at Medical Value
Thank
Talks.
you so much.